let's come to next page. And here there was some question that had came from last week and during the class. So before we open the mic for everyone to ask question, I would like to go ahead and tackle them because those are the questions related to our subject today. Some times back, you had mentioned that relatives of the deceased put the name of their deceased in majlis, for which sawab goes to the person who pay rather than the rohanis. Now tell me or explain in your lecture what happened when relatives of deceased Khato, Awal Sufro or Mallas where deceased was member. This creates precedent which forces others to do the same, creating hardship on them. Look like there is a question, kind of argument, kind of self-understanding, but it's okay. It's a nice question. आपको याद होगा कि हमने इमाम के फरमान को लेते हुए एक बात समझाई थी कि चांदरात के फरमान में मौला फरमाते हैं कि जब आप मजलिस में आओ तो आप सलवात ज्यादा पढ़ना। अगर आप सलवात ज्यादा पढ़ेंगे तो मौला फरमाते हैं कि मेरी ख्वाहिश है और उम्मीद है कि तुम में से कोई भी गुनहगार होके नहीं गुजरेगा। So let's take the entire Furman. That when someone dies, have a majlis for the Rouhani. When you come to the majlis, recite Salawat. Inshallah, Imam will forgive his sin and will give abode in heaven. Then Mullah says, if you recite this Salawat, you will have more courage. You would have more sawab. And I do not want any of my mu'min to die sinful. The reason of that farman and the reason of that majlis was that instead of, and we have seen this again and again, we are worried so much about the Rohani that we forget about our own soul. And we think that we pray for the Rohani and when we die, someone else will pray for us. Imam is saying, how about we think differently? How about you recite this salawat so you don't die sinful and you don't have to wait for someone else to do salawat for you. आप इस फरमान को वाज़ेह तौर पर पढ़ें कि अगर आप इस मजलिस में आते हैं और सलवात पढ़ेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह आपका जोर दिन ब दिन बढ़ेगा, आपके गुनाह माफ होंगे, आप बहश्त में जाएंगे, आपको नूरानी दीदार होगा. Read this Farman very carefully. Imam is saying, all this is for you. So I wish, Mullah says, none of my murid die sinful. Mullah फरमाते हैं कि मैं नहीं चाहता हूं कि मेरा कोई भी मुरीद गुनहगार होके गुजरे. अगर कोई भी मुरीद गुनहगार होके ना गुजरे तो फिर हमको रूहानी की दुआ की जरूरत नहीं पड़ने वाली है. And I don't think we should wait कि हम गुनाह करके जाएं और हमारे पीछे हमारी फैमिली हमारे लिए दुआ करेंगी. How about we do what Imam is saying? Do not die sinful. When we do Rouhani Majlis, when we do Rouhani Dua, because it is your action your niyat, your doing, it is your good deed. One person goes to the Rouhani. 99% stays with you. Because hate is hate. And remember the Gnan. ત્યાં પર ના ભાઈ છે, ના બેન છે, ના મા છે, ના બાપ છે. What you have done will go with you. What the Rouhani has done will go with them. I'm not saying do not pray for the Rouhani. I'm not saying that. Do pray for the Rouhani. Why am I saying pray for the Rouhani? Because as per Imam's wish, I wish the same for you, that you do not die sinful. Because when you pray for the Rouhani, 99% comes back to you. That is Imam's Farman, that is Imam's wish, and that is my hope and prayer for you too. Because Imam is saying that, not because I'm saying that. I'm nobody. Because Imam is saying that, I would like to say that to you. Okay. He is talking about the Awal Sufro for Rouhani. I'm going to give you, or I would like to give you a different way of thinking. हमारे भाई पूछते हैं कि जब हम अव्वल सुफरा बताते हैं ना, तो लोगों में कंपटीशन होता है, दिखावा होता है. मेरे पास एक अलग तरीका है सोचने का. He's saying when we do Awal Sufra, there is a competition created and built, and a show off is presented. I have a different way of thought. I would like to share this with you. When I see someone doing Awal Sufra, and I wanted to tell you one thing. In my life, I'm over 60-year-old. I have never ever done Awal Sufra. Never. So I don't want any one of you to think that Aziz sir must have done Awal Sufra. I have never done it. I have never done it. Because I have a different thought. And I would like to share that with you. So you don't feel what he is asking. I don't want anyone to feel that way. So let me share my thought with you. When I see someone doing Awal Sufra, what goes in my mind? Look at this moment. He wants to give his money, hard-earned money, to the Imam, and at the end, he says, the Sawab goes to Rouhani and Hazir Jamaat. Who can be a nicer moment than him? I don't care what his niyat is. You can say maybe he was showing off. Maybe he created a competition. But I don't think so. I don't think like that. I look at him in a positive mirror. गुजराती माँ हमारी माँ कहती थी अपने सारा तो बधाई सारा. Reflect a positive mirror. Only way you will think he's doing show off or he's creating a competition because you are mirroring your own thoughts on him. So my thought, and if you like to learn and keep, it is yours. When I see someone doing Awal Sufra, I would think and say, this man giving his hard-earned money and giving thousands and thousands of dollars, rupiah, wherever you are, pound. And at the end, look at him. He's not keeping anything for himself. He's saying, Sawab goes to Rouhani and Sawab goes to Hazir Jamaat. So I salute him. In my heart, I have a respect for him. Instead of thinking negative about him, I have nothing but a positive thought in my mind for him. I salute him for that. And for those who think he's doing something wrong, try to give thousands of dollars and see how it feels. No. Reflect a positive thought, a positive mirror. Apare sara to badaye sara. Think good and good will happen. Think positive and positive will return. This is a true Ismaili mu'min would do. Do not be those who think negative. Do not be that. We go to Jamaat Khana to earn sawab. We do not go to Jamaat Khana to earn sin. हम जमात खाने सवाब कमाने जाते हैं. बुरे थॉट्स लेकर घर पर ना आए आप. Don't do that. It's not good for your soul. That is my humble opinion, and this is my humble way of thinking. If you like to adopt, it is yours. Okay. The next question was about this ayat. Allah says in this ayat, which is Surah Hud, ayat number 7, Allah, He is who had created earth and the heavens in the 6 days. And His arsh, His throne, was on the water. So He may test you in your ilm wa amal, in your good deeds. अगर आप इनसे कहें कि तुम लोग मरने के बाद उठाए जाओगे, if you tell them that you will be brought to life after you have died, they will say this is a true magic. The question in this was, what does it mean 6 days that He created heaven and the earth? And then on top of that, what does it mean that He sat on the throne? That was the question. Allah, who has the Amr and the Amr of the Kun Fayakun, He could say to be and everything will come in existence. Why would it take Him 6 days to create the earth and heaven? Why? It is not that He physically created the 6 earth and the heavens in 6 physical days. This is the days of the religion. He created the perfect religion in 6 days. Let me count those 6 days for you. Number 1, the day of Adam, Sunday. Number 2, day of Hazrat Noah, Monday. Day of Hazrat Ibrahim, Tuesday. Day of Hazrat Musa, Wednesday. Day of Hazrat Isa, Thursday. Day of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Friday. Those are the 6 days of religion, and Allah perfected His religion, and He calls it, I created the 6 days, and I created the Zameen wa Asman of the religion. Zameen is the lower level, Asman is the higher level. And then on the 7th day, on the Saturday, on the day of Qiyamah, He will manifest Himself on the throne so the humanity could be tested in their knowledge and in their deeds. ये दौरे क़यामत है जहां पर हमारा इम्तिहान है, जहां पर लोगों का इम्तिहान है, जहां पर इमाम ने अपने आप को मैनिफेस्ट कर दिया है, जाहिर कर दिया है और अपनी कुर्सी पर आकर बैठ गया है. अब जो इमाम को मानता है और जो इमाम को नहीं मानता है, जो खुदा को मानता है, जो खुदा को नहीं मानता है, उनका आज इम्तिहान है। ये है 7वां दिन। तो इस आयत का छोटा सा मतलब, एक इनिशियल इंटरप्रिटेशन was this. There are many other interpretation of this ayat. Beautifully, thank you for sharing. Someone had shared this Farman last week, if you remember, at the end of the session. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah Alayhi says in this Farman, take the central principle of Allahu Akbar. Here we find on one side divinity and the other side the infinity. And that is the question that my friend had asked last week from this. What does divinity means and what does infinity means in this Farman? सबसे पहले, what is divinity? लफ्जी मायने divinity के abstract हो सकते हैं, रूहानियत हो सकती है, रूहानी पावर हो सकता है, नूर हो सकता है। लेकिन जब हम उसके बातीन के अंदर जाते हैं तो उसके लिए हमें हमारे पीरों और दाइयों ने डिविनिटी के लिए एक टर्म दिया है, एक अल्फाज सिखाया है। The divinity in its dictionary meaning can be abstract, spiritual power, the light, unseen, and all of that. But that's a dictionary meaning. Our peers and Dais and Hujjatan have given us the definition, a term of divinity. And that is called Noor-e Fahal. Noor-e Fahal. Abstract Noor. And then Peer defines what is abstract Noor. Such a Noor which works so fast and so abundantly that it covers everything. उर्दू के अंदर नूर फाल के मानी है एक ऐसा नूर, एक ऐसी डिविनिटी कि जो बहुत तेजी से काम करता है और बहुत ज्यादा काम करता है और उसने हर चीज को अपने अंदर घेर लिया है. He has encompassed everything within himself. That is divinity. और उसका नाम था नूर फहाल. If you like to write it down. तो डिविनिटी का मतलब पूछा आपने और उसकी तावील हमारे पीरों ने हमको पहले से ही करके दे दी है. Let's come to infinity. एक दायरे का तस्वीर करें. Think of a circle. Think of a clock. Look at your clock. Look at your watch in your hand, which goes round and round, round and round without any end or any beginning. So what Imam is saying, when you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is great, what it really means that He has encompassed everything in His Nur, Nur-e-Fahal, and He has no beginning nor ending. Circle. No beginning, no ending. That's infinity. Human nature, we see everything on a linear line. We think Adam came and on a linear line, we have Hazir Imam today. Actually, this is not the right way of thinking. Everything is in circle. Continuation, never ending, never beginning, in a perfect circle. Just like your clock. Day ends, day begins. Day ends, day begins. Week ends, week begins. Month ends, month begins. Year ends, year begins. Decades, centuries, there is no beginning, there is no end to it. A continuation. That is the saying Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Look at the words and the wisdom in way Imam explains the meaning of Allahu Akbar. I cannot think of anyone who could have explained better the meaning of Allahu Akbar than the Imam. What a wisdomful words, the way he have explained with the two short terms, divinity, Nur Fahal, infinity, a circle continuation. Subhanallah. And I believe this was the last question, so I will stop here. This will give us chance to go and open the mic, and if you like, we can talk about other questions. Thank you, everybody. G.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Friends, if you have any question, please send it in the chat room, or you can ask later. Sir, we have received one question thus far. The friend is asking, I have a question regarding intellect. Based on your previous lecture, I understood that once a Mu'min reaches the highest level of universal intellect through merging with Imam, these souls have a free will to come back to earth. When these souls choose to come back to earth out of their free will, do you think their intellect starts from scratch, or their intellect starts from where they left off when they merged with Mawla in the previous cycle?
Very good question. What I would like you to understand, and I would like you to write it down so you can understand. There are many different kind of human souls which progress from this dunya all the way to the Fanafi Imam at the level of Akle Kul, at the level of Hazira Kus. And then from that point, when they regain their free will, as per Quran's 36:68, Surah Yasin, ayat number 68, they will return back to this earth if they wish and will. But remember, there are many different kinds of human. They guess from this dunya, which is at number 6, number 5, number 4, number 3, 2, 1, and 12. Which moment are you asking the question about? Listen to me very, very careful. There will be certain hints in this answer. If a Mu'min Salik, a true Abid, a true Arif, goes from 6 to 12 in one single vertical line, he is that Buzrug which Quran mentions in 36:68. We are talking about, and if you would read that ayat carefully, you will find the word जिसको हम लंबी उम्र देते हैं, the one who has given the long life. The word is buzrug, the one we give buzrugi to. And who can be buzrug? Who are the buzrug? Who can be buzrug and who are the buzrug? Number one, Imam is that buzrug. And you see, Imam never dies. He just goes and comes, goes and comes, goes and comes. Imam never dies. He changes the body, he changes the clothes. He is the buzrug this ayat mentions at the highest level. Then those mu'mineen, the salikin, the abidin, the arifin, the buzrug right behind Imam of the time, with Imam Zaman, goes and comes back, goes and comes back, goes and comes back. If we are talking about this buzrug, then the answer to your question would be, when they are born from the mother's womb, they are all blank. No remembrance of anything from the previous of knowledge. But in the very short life, they receive the Ismi Azam, and with their Ismi Azam, Imams gives them all of the ilm, all of the tawil, all of the understanding, everything that he had before. Why? Because he is that buzrug soul, elevated, buzrug, elevated in English. उर्दू के अंदर आप जिस मकाम की बात करते हैं वहां पर अलग अलग इंसान, अलग अलग रूह, अलग अलग तरीके से पहुंचती है. ये रूह जो जमीन से ऊपर तक, जाहिर से बातिन तक, दुनिया से आखिरत तक, जमीन से इमाम तक एक सीधी लकीर के ऊपर चलकर पहुंचती है, वो बुजुर्ग रूह है. उस रूहों के अंदर नंबर वन, अव्वल सबसे ऊपर इमाम अस खुद है, कि जो कभी भी नहीं मरते हैं, क्योंकि वो बुजुर्ग रूह हैं. वो जाते हैं आते हैं, जाते हैं आते हैं. और ये आयत का इदराक सूरह यासीन 68 इमामों पर सबसे पहले होता है. इसके बाद उसके पीछे पीछे उन मोमिन सालिकीन, आबिदीन और आरिफीन पर होता है कि जो इमाम के पीछे पीछे चलते हुए इमाम ही के साथ इस दुनिया से आखिरत तक पहुंच जाते हैं, और वो भी दोबारा आते हैं. लेकिन जब वो अपनी माँ के पेट से पैदा होते हैं तो उसको कुछ भी याद नहीं होता है. लेकिन चूंकि वो बुजुर्ग रूह होती है, बुजुर्ग हस्ती होती है जिसका जिक्र कुरान में है, तो उसको बहुत ही कम उम्र के अंदर इसमें आजम के जरिए से तमाम इल्म, तमाम हिकमत, तमाम तावीलात, तमाम रोशनी दे दी जाती है, और उनको याद आ जाता है कि उसका असल क्या था. That is the first answer to your question. All the remaining human, all the remaining soul, garib like us, who step by step go from 6 to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a 12. Even though we also reached Asal mein Wasil, but it took us 50,000 years teaching and learning ibadat and a journey to get to the Asal mein Wasil. We are not that Buzurg soul. And if we wish and will, and Imam gives us the Amr to come back, then we are not that Buzurg soul, but if you work hard, follow the Imam's Farman, do exactly what Imam tells you, he can and he will make you that Buzurg. So next time when you come with the Imam, you will be that Buzurg. So you see, understanding the batin and understanding the darjat, the ranks, the elevation are on two different levels. So I hope you have written this answer and I hope you understood this answer. And now I would like you to think and ponder on this, so you may have a complete comprehension of what this Garib and Nachis have just given to you with Imam's ilm, not me, it's not me, Imam's ilm. Take that and learn that. Inshallah, you will have such a deep understanding of the ilm that all your questions will be answered easily. Inshallah, nothing is impossible in Imam's ilm. Ji.
Sir, we have another question, sir, from friend regarding from the lecture Journey of the Soul. The friend's asking, what is at the different level of the clock, 5, 4, 3, 2, etc. What will a soul be doing at each level of the clock? For instance, what will a soul do at level 5 or 4? I know you mentioned that we will do ilm and zikr. Is there any other task that we will be doing apart from zikr and bandagi? What will be the environment and circumstances at each level?
हाँ, ये आलम बातिन का सवाल है, आलम ज़ाहिर का नहीं. Having said that, let's take the help from Imam Zaman himself and see what our Dais and Pir have said about that. Number one task before you even start the ilm and ibadat by force on other side would be realization. Write down this word, one word, realization. Without the realization, no soul will move from 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, and onward. So on each level, and there are many more levels between 6 and 5. It's not 6 and 5 jump. There are steps between 6 and 5, steps between 5 and 4. Each time you will realize that you could have done this better when you had a chance and a free will in the world. You will take the ilm, you will take the ibadat, and you will move forward. Then when you get to that level, you will realize you could have done even better. You will take the ilm, ibadat, you will move forward. Because of that, the journey is so long, 50,000 years. Because each step, a realization is given. Realization will be acquired. And with that, you will take the ilm and the ibadat. What I would like to do here, I want to bring you back into the zahir. Because it is easy today with our free will to do exactly what you could do in 50,000 years, you could do today in 100 years. How about that? How about you understand how can you progress from 6 to 12 instead of between 6 and 5 and 4 and 3? How about we learn that one? Easy 3 steps. Easy 3 steps. Number 1 would be what? Realization. If you realize today that there are things you can do with your free will in this lifetime, you would do second thing. What that would be? Ilm. You will do the third thing. What there would be? Ibadat. How about we realize, take the ilm and do the ibadat in this physical world, so we do not go through 50,000 year step by step. How about we learn this and apply it? अगर हम मरने के बाद की फिक्र करते हैं कि हमको क्या करना होगा, अगर यही लेसन अगर हम इस दुनिया के अंदर सीख कर अप्लाई कर लें, तो हमको ये 50,000 का दायरा नहीं घूमना पड़ेगा. Maybe I said it too much. मुझे उम्मीद है कि आपने इशारे में समझ लिया होगा कि वही काम जो हम 50,000 साल में अनविलिंगली करने वाले हैं, अगर आज हम विलिंगली कर लेते हैं, रियलाइजेशन, इल्म एंड इबादत, तो फिर वो दायरे के अंदर हमको नहीं घूमना पड़ेगा. जी.
I have a question. Sultan Muhammad always says in his farman that फिरिश्ता जैसे बनो, right? ऐसा काम करो कि आप फिरिश्ता जैसे बनो. तो जब भी फिरिश्ता जैसे बनते हैं तो वो वापस जन्म लेकर आते हैं दुनिया में, या तो लैलतुल कदर के दिन में सभी फिरिश्ता नीचे उतरते हैं, वो ऐसे वो जन्म में आते, कैसे आते?
My friend is asking, my sister is asking that Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah Alayhi, may our soul be sacrificed to the Imam, says in his Farman that become like an angel. Become like an angel. So she's asking, if you become like an angel, would you come back and take another physical life? Or how would you come back? And she threw in Surah Qadr. Two different understanding, okay? Surah Qadr is not a chapter that we can discuss here in 5 minutes. For that, I will request you to listen to the lecture which has already been delivered on Surah Qadr. Okay? Let's take your first question, which is a beautiful question. And the answer is so easy, and that one word, your answer is in one single word. Free will. Free will is your answer. If they want to, they can come back. If they don't want to, nobody's going to force them. Free will is your answer. G.
If they come like a Firista, so why they can want to come back as a human again? If they come like a Firista. जो फिरिश्ता जैसे हो गए, ऑलरेडी उसका जो खुदा के साथ ऐसे हो गए, खुदा के साथ नूर बढ़ गए, तो वापस क्यों आना है?
They don't have to. Free will. Who is the greatest of the greater angel today? सबसे बड़ा फरिश्ता कौन है आज दुनिया में?
खुदा का नूर ही होता है ना. तो
नाम दे, मुझे एक नाम दे. सबसे दुनिया में खुदा का बड़ा फरिश्ता कौन है आज? एक नाम बोले मेरे को.
खुदा ये
मेरे आंखें को देखो, नाम मुझे बताएं. उसका नाम है शाह करीम अल हुसैनी.
यस,
राइट. अगर शाह करीम जो फरिश्तों का फरिश्ता है, सबसे बड़ा फरिश्ता है, तो आपका सवाल तो फिर गलत हो जाता है कि वो क्यों आते हैं. क्योंकि इमाम आते हैं तो वो भी आते हैं.
वो तो डिफरेंट रूम में आते हैं ना, वो हमारे इंसान के रूम में तो नहीं आते ना, वो तो उसका तो डिफरेंट ही होता है.
Don't you see Imam in a human form?
Yeah.
Okay, then. If Imam can come in a human form, who's the angel of the all angels, then why would not the angel come? वो क्या इमाम से ऊपर है?
अच्छा.
No. No. जी, और कोई सवाल?
याली
Sir,
मदद,
who wants to, there's a,
याली मदद,
go ahead, Gulzar.
या
जी, याली
अजीज भाई, आपने वो जो 3 स्टेप बोले ना, रियलाइजेशन, इल्म और इबादत से हम 6 to 12 जा सकते हैं, तो रियलाइजेशन के ऊपर थोड़ा सा और प्लीज एक्सप्लेन करिए।
जी, my sister is asking that could you elaborate, explain more realization? The reason today we are not as elevated as Imam wish is because we have not realized that what we have come to this world for. एक ही वजह है कि आज हम इतने बुलंद मकाम पर नहीं पहुंचे हुए हैं, वो ये है कि आज तक हमने रियलाइज नहीं किया है कि हमारा दुनिया में आने का मकसद क्या था, और इसी वजह से आज हम नीचे बैठे हुए हैं। वरना आज ही हम इमाम के अंदर फना होकर रूहानियत का मजा चख रहे होते, क्योंकि हमने रियलाइज नहीं किया है। और रियलाइजेशन क्या है कि आई कुड हैव डन व्हाट आई हैव कम ओवर हियर फॉर। और हम दुनिया में क्यों आए हैं? पैसा कमाने आए हैं, बच्चा बनाने आए हैं, काम करने आए हैं, मगजमारी करने आए हैं? किस लिए हम दुनिया में आए हैं? इमाम अपने एक फरमान में फरमाते हैं कि एक जानवर और इंसान में क्या फर्क है? और इमाम सवाल पूछते हैं, एक जानवर भी पैदा होता है, आप भी पैदा हुए। एक जानवर शादी करता है, आपने भी शादी की। एक जानवर बच्चे बनाता है, आप भी बच्चे बनाता है। एक जानवर खाता है, आप भी खाते हैं। एक जानवर मर जाता है, आप भी मर जाते हैं। आप में और जानवर में क्या फर्क है? इमाम पूछते हैं सवाल। पता है क्या फर्क है? We can realize the reason that we have come to this world, and that was to receive the marifat, to receive the nur, become one with the imam within this lifetime. मरने के बाद नहीं, इस दुनिया में रहते हुए हमको इमाम के अंदर एक होना है। देखें, सुने, मूतू कबला अंत मूतू, मरने से पहले मर जाओ। फिर ए बनी आदम, तू मेरी हकीकी मानों में इताअत कर तो मैं तुझे अपने जैसा बनाऊंगा। इन इंग्लिश, ओ चिल्ड्रन ऑफ एडम, फॉलो मी इन द ट्रू सेंस एंड आई विल मेक यू लाइक मी। अगर इमाम आपको अपने जैसा बना लेता है तो आप क्या हो गए? आप क्या हो जाएंगे? अगर इमाम आपको अपने जैसा बना लेता है, आप फनाफी इमाम हो जाएंगे। ए बनी आदम, फॉलो मी इन द ट्रू सेंस। ये रियलाइजेशन करना है कि क्या हम वो काम कर रहे हैं जो हमको करने चाहिए, या वो काम कर रहे हैं जो हमको नहीं करने चाहिए। अगर आप लास्ट सैटरडे को और यस्टरडे को फरमान क्लास में थे, वहां पर हमने डिटेल में देखा कि मौला ने कितना डिटेल में हमको समझाया है। किसी एक बच्ची ने कुछ साल पहले कराची के अंदर एक लाइव क्लास थी, उसके अंदर एक सवाल पूछा कि सर, आपने किसी मकाम पर कहा कि रूहानियत बहुत आसान है, लेकिन हम तो देखते हैं कि रूहानियत बहुत मुश्किल है। Am I right? She is asking, I don't think she was more than 14 years of age. She's asking that you said in one of your session that Ruhaniyat is easy when we find Ruhaniyat very hard. Explain. I said, Imam has explained this in his Farman many times. और वो होता है क्या है? अपने दिल से दुनिया को निकालो रूहानियत खुद ब खुद आ जाती है, आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Imam in his current farman recently have said, the nur, the light is not your right, is given to you. Lekin the condition was on you. And what was that? That you must realize that you have kept the dunya in your heart. You have not left any room in your heart for his nur to come and take place. दुनिया को अपने दिल से बाहर निकालो, रूहानियत खुद ब खुद आ जाती है. इतनी आसान है रूहानियत. आप पानी के 2 ग्लास लें, एक ग्लास में पानी भरे, एक ग्लास को खाली एम्प्टी छोड़े, वो पानी इस ग्लास में डाल दें, ठीक है, फिर इस ग्लास को छोड़ दें. अब इस ग्लास में क्या बचा है? आप बोलेंगे कि ये ग्लास खाली है. मैं वापस पूछता हूं, इस ग्लास के अंदर क्या बचा है? थोड़ी देर सोचने के बाद आप बोलेंगे कि इस ग्लास के अंदर हवा भर गई. मेरा सवाल होगा, हवा आपने भरी कि वो हवा खुद ब खुद आ गई? आप बोलेंगे हवा खुद ब खुद आ गई. जब आप दिल से दुनिया को निकालते हैं ना, तो रूहानियत खुद ब खुद आ जाती है. जब आप ये रियलाइज कर लेंगे ना, तो आपकी तवज्जो इल्म की तरफ जाएंगी कि अब मैं क्या ऐसा इल्म लूं और क्या ऐसी इबादत करूं कि मैं आज ही इमाम में फना हो जाऊं. But realization, without the realization, until you admit and until you realize that you have covered your entire heart with dunya, the greed and the worry about dunya. What is the greed and worry about dunya? Some people worry about money, status, chair. Others worry about their children. I was speaking to someone just this week, and she said, I would love to learn the knowledge, but my children are so far. I have to travel. I have to take care of my children. I have no time. Sorry, I cannot take you. Remember, your children will not come with you. Your parents will not come with you. I'm not saying don't take care of your children, but think about your soul first. If you do not realize that part, that you have dunya in your heart, the subject of the dunya can change. It could be money, it could be greed, seat, power, children, friends. What other person will say, we are worried about everything but our own soul. That is the realization that we must have if we want to be one with the Imam before we die. So we don't have to take the big circle of 50,000. That is the realization. Thank you for asking again and giving this Garib an opportunity to explain again.
Thank you, Yali Madad.
Yes.
So we don't have any questions anymore. So it's already 1 hour 40 minutes past.
Looks like we have 1 or 2 more questions. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my son was from a very young age. He been telling me that Khuda is bringing you in this world. There is some reason. He cannot bring anybody in this world, any human in this world, without any reason. So you have to sit one side every day and ask yourself that why did Khuda bring me in this world? What I have to do? What good thing I have to do? What's the reason Mola is bringing me in this world? It has to some kind of a reason when he bring you here. So then you will get your own answer that you have to do this good job for this person, or you have to do these things for this person. You will get your answer. Is that true?
How about we listen to what Imam has said? Or how about we listen to what our prophets have said, our Dais and Peers have said? We have come to this world for one and one reason only, to have the recognition of the Imam of the time. We have come to this world to realize our asal. That was the highest, that must be the highest priority. If, only if, remember the free will is yours. No one can tell you what to do. Even Imam cannot tell you what to do, because Imam been giving us Farman for 1400 years. It is only you can decide with your free will. You want to go from here to there, or do you want to take the circle? Once you realize that your soul came to this world to have the recognition of the Imam and realize the asal of our soul, until then, until the realization, you will not do anything with the ilm. You can listen to ilm, but there will be no use of it. You will not be able to utilize your ibadat. You will do the ibadat, but there will be no use of that, because you even have not even realized the reason for the ilm and reason for the ibadat. This is what I'm talking about. We'll take the last question from RHA. What's RHA?
Can I?
Ji Rahim, go ahead.
Okay, sir. I wanted to ask कि कुरान में एक वर्स है कि अल्लाह ताला ने इस दुनिया को 6 दिन में बनाया और 7 डे जो है वो मैनिफेस्ट हुआ, और फिर इसकी इंटरप्रिटेशन ये बताई गई थी कि कुरान शरीफ की एक आयत है कि अल्लाह ताला का एक दिन जो है वो 1000 years के 1000 days के बराबर, सॉरी 1000 years के बराबर है. तो अगर ये सही है तो आई वंडर कि हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम और प्रॉफेट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के दरमियान जो है द डिफरेंस इज नॉट 1000 years बट अबाउट 570 years का अप्रोक्सीमेटली जो फर्क है. तो उसकी एक्चुअल एक अच्छी तावील क्या हो सकती है इस आयत की कि अल्लाह ने दुनिया 6 दिन में बनाई और 7 डे मैनिफेस्ट हुआ?
बहुत आसान है तावील, इंशाल्लाह बहुत आसान है. तो पहले उर्दू में and then I will translate this question in English for our English speaking friends. बहुत आसान है रहीम. हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की एक दुआ है कि मेरी प्रोजनी में से एक ऐसा इमाम को दुनिया में लाना कि जो इमाम क़यामत के दिन का इमाम हो और दुनिया के अंदर वो बराबरी कर दे, बराबरी इक्वालिटी कर दे. अगर उसके लिए तेरे को दीन को खींचना भी पड़े ना तो उसको लंबा कर देना. या हदीस को आप याद रखें. अब आपके सवाल का जवाब. Every prophet has approximately 1000 years from Adam all the way to Musa. Isa's life was short and so was his day, the day of religion, approximately 632 years. Because the last day, according to the plan of the Nur, the Imam Allah, because this day would need approximately 1600 plus year, 1300 plus year for a manifestation of the Imam of the time of Qiyamah. So Allah in his utmost wisdom to keep the average of 1000 years, as you said, between Hazrat Isa and Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Qiyamah would come at the 2000 year combinedly. 1000 for him, 1000 for him. But Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taken 1300 and let's say, for the sake of argument, 1368 years. Because the Dore-e-Qiyamah, the final day of Shariat, had to set a tone for the day of Qiyamah. And that had taken 1368 years. I'm not saying definitely 1368, a figurative speech, a much longer period than 1,000 years. To compensate for that, the total is 1,000 average per natik. And you can find this logic, if you like, in our Zais and Peer's book, in example Wajh-e-Deen, inshallah. So this was for our English speaking friend, Reem had asked a beautiful question that we just talked about 1,000 years for, or 1 day for each one of the Natiqeen, the Sahib Shariat, and each one has 1,000 years. But Hazrat Jesus Isa alayhi salam only had a short period of average 632 years. We are not counting days and minutes, but we are averaging it out to about 632 years. And in the place of that, Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taken 1368 years of Shariat. And end of 1368, the time of the Qiyamah began. And there is a hadith regarding that. A prayer of Prophet Muhammad was that, Ya Allah, from my progeny, Ale Nabi Aulad Ali, bring the Imam of the time of the Qiyamah, and so he may do the quality, mono-reality amongst the humanity. If even it takes an extended period of time, then wait and bring that Imam when the people or the humanity is ready. So the time of the Shariat of Prophet Muhammad had taken much longer to affect, and the Qiyamah came around 1368 Islamic calendar history, or in totality. Remember, we are talking about figurative speech. Don't quote me and say you said exactly 2000 or exactly 1368. We are just averaging, because if we look at Musa, he only had 950 years. Hazrat Noah alayhi salam, about 950 years. Some had taken, but the average was 1,000 years. So 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years. Finally, the time of the Qiyamah came, and this is the interpretation and the logical answer to your question, Rahim. Thank you for asking. Thank you everyone again for joining. This was our last session on this subject. We will take a short break for a few weeks. The session will continue with our guest speakers. This Garib and Nachis will take a short break, and I'll be back in a few weeks, inshallah ta'ala, with a new subject and new lesson. Thank you again, everybody. May Mola bless all of you. Keep praying for this Garib and Nachis. Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad.
Thank you.
Yali Madad, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Ya Ali Madad.
Ali Madad, sir, may Mola bless you and always keep you happy, healthy, and always enlightening our knowledge.
Ameen.
Ya Ali Madad.
Thank you.
Have a good break, sir, and inshallah we'll see you very soon. We look forward to it.
Inshallah. Ameen. Ameen. Thank you, Sharifa.
And,
Thank
and keep us in touch, sir, of the next
Ameen.
sessions and all that. Mola
Inshallah.
bless you. Yali Madad.
Ameen.
Yali Madad.
Ameen. Ameen. Ya Ali Madad.
Yali Madad.
याली मदद
Thank you,
दुआ
everybody.
में याद रखना
Ameen.
दुआ दे हम
Ameen. Ameen. आमीन। Thank
शुक्र
you.
मौला, thank you so much.
सबको आमीन। Thank you.